What's it like to get stung by 25 electric caterpillars from Japan? I'm about to find out. I'm pretty nervous, but I'm also super curious how this is actually going to feel. Oh my gosh, check this out. Look at that. The backside of this leaf, guys, is about, I'm gonna say over 50 Denkimushi caterpillar, which here in Japan means electric insect. Today in this video, I'm intentionally going to be stung by the Denkimushi to show you just how bad it really is. But these are just hatchlings, guys. We need to find much bigger caterpillars to make sure I take a full dose. So I'm gonna put this leaf back and we're gonna keep searching. Let's go. Denkimushi refers to the larval stage of a small brown moth found across Asia. While the adult moth is common and completely harmless to humans, it's a totally different story for the caterpillar stages. When these larvae gather in groups on trees, they're actually at their most dangerous, armed together in a mass of toxic spines that can deliver thousands of painful stings. And unfortunately for our friend and local guide Richard, he learned this the hard way. So Richard, where are we headed to now? Where are we gonna find some bigger Denkimushi?
So we're heading to a friend's small farm just up in the mountain a little bit because there's a number of persimmon trees there and the persimmon tree attracts the Denkimushi. So I hope, because the altitude's different, the caterpillar might be at a different stage of development and might be a bit bigger.
All right guys, so we made it to the farm. We are surrounded by agriculture right now. There are fruits and veggies over here, orchards just behind us, but we are looking for those persimmon trees, and I think I see some just over that hill. Oh guys, check this out. Here's a caterpillar. Not the one we're looking for, but that's pretty cool. It has like a horn on its tail, but look at the top of it. Almost looks like it has eyes. I'm sure that's some defense mimicry, making it look like a snake or some other larger creature. But there you have it. Proof that there are caterpillars out in this field. It's a good sign. All right, this is the big grove of persimmon trees. You can see persimmons there. These are huge. Okay, let's spread out a little bit. Everybody look out for those paper-like leaves. Denkimushi caterpillars drain chlorophyll from persimmon leaves when they're eating them, leaving them withered and pale. So if you spot some white leaves in a persimmon tree, you'll likely find a bunch of Denkimushi nearby. Oh, here we go, guys. This is it. That's definitely Denkimushi. All right, they have to be close. Those are definitely leaves that they ate. Oh, right here. Look at this. Oh yeah, those are way bigger. Those are like easily 5 times the size of the ones this morning. You can even see the black bristles coming off of them. Holy mother, look at that. Wow. Look at all those, there's hundreds of them. We hit the jackpot, the mother lode. This is perfect for our sting test. All right, I'm going to collect a few into this container. Let's see how easily they come off. Okay, I want to get the biggest ones. Being very careful to not take a sting yet. Oh, and look at this, guys. See that gray matter? That is actually a shed. So when these caterpillars grow, they don't just get bigger, they actually shed their skin like a snake. These must have just hatched from their sheds. Ooh. Slimy. Oh man, they're like neon green on the backside. All right, there we have it, guys. 2 dozen Denkimushi caterpillars armed with venomous barbs, ready for the sting table. Let's go set it up. Whew. Here we go. There is a jar full of Denkimushi caterpillar. It's a pretty good size one. Now they can get quite a bit larger than this, probably 2 times, maybe 3 times the size. But these caterpillars here are certainly large enough to get a full dose of that toxin and to rate this caterpillar sting on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now I'm going to take them out of the vial so we can get a really close macro shot of those venom-laced bristles. We have a good amount, a couple dozen, maybe a few more than that. And last but not least, lucky number 25. Oh buddy, 25 bristly Denkimushi caterpillars. That's a lot of pain on the table. Look at all of those spines. all of the bristles that are covering the back and the sides of these caterpillars that are laced with that very potent neurotoxic venom. You can even see on some of them, like here at the front, it's almost like a cactus, like a little stalk up and down the body like a tree, and they have those venom-laced spines flared out. I can see now why just a gentle brush into one of these caterpillars would yield such a painful sting. There is really no way to make contact with this caterpillar where you're not going to be spined. It's very much like the fireworms that I was stung by down in Florida. Yeah, that burns. However, this is a much different type of toxin, and I believe it will be a much different experience and rating for the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. We rate all the bites and stings that I experiment with on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And then we combine those scores for an average for an official BSI rating, and then we will know where the Denkimushi caterpillar rates against all the other insects I've been bitten and stung by in my career. And the way I plan to do this is I'm going to place the caterpillars one at a time on the glove, spikes out, and then on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, spikes down, I will cover my arm. So I take the full dose of all of the venom, all of the spines from these caterpillars all at once. Since these caterpillars are still in the early stages of their life cycle, and because they're most dangerous when encountered in groups, I'm going to place a cluster of them on my hand to simulate the kind of accidental contact someone might have in the wild. Richard's looking at me right now like I'm out of my mind. Maybe I am, but I want to make sure that this sting test is legit. And this is the best way that I can think to do it. And I have no idea how long the pain is going to last. Some people say it's over and gone in a matter of seconds. Some people say it lasts hours. Some people have even reported boils and lesions for weeks after being stung by the Denkimushi. So how am I gonna fare? It is time to find out. Okay, here we go. First things first, let's place all the caterpillars. Here we go, first one. All right, first step's going well, like they can't sting through the glove, and I was unsure whether or not that was going to be the case. There we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try to do this quickly because they do move. And I am going to just apply gentle pressure when I do the sting, guys. I don't believe it's going to take very much, and I'm certainly not trying to squish the caterpillars. We're gonna put all these caterpillars right back where we found them when this is all said and done. Spread them out a bit. They move slowly, but they are persistent. All right, there they are. I'm pretty nervous, but I'm also super curious how this is actually going to feel. Here we go. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with 25 electric caterpillars. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh! Oh! Try not to squish him. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ah! Ah! It's like shock, 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 shock. Ah! Oh! Get that one. Ah! Ah! Ow, ow, ah! 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 Okay. Okay. Woo! Yeah, that felt like white hot sparks, almost like a grinding wheel sparks, like just ripping onto my skin. Hang on, all right, I'm gonna put them back on the table. Ow, ow. Oh, it's building, it's getting worse. Look at that swelling. Look at all that redness. Oh man, yep. All right, get them off me. Get off. All right, I just got to peel them, guys. Get off my hand, get off my hand. Oh wow. Look at all the ripples in my skin, guys. Oh man, I must have gotten thousands of spines. Oh, look at all that. You could see where each individual spine went in. The skin is like goosebumps, like just coming up to the surface. Yeah, I took a full dose. That's a full dose. Oh, massively irritating, massively burning. It just feels like my skin is about to just crawl off of my arm right now. It's like static. Definitely neurotoxic, exactly like the fireworm feels. Almost identical, except I don't know if I have bristles in me if I do, they're like microscopic and I can't see them. I don't see a lot of bristles removed from the caterpillars. Oh, it leads me to believe that it just spiked me, that they're not lodged in my skin, but wow. Okay. All right. Man, I may really regret this. And now it's time to deal with the aftermath. For the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to monitor the sting. We'll show you the footage, but you don't have to wait a second to learn where the Denkimushi ranks on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Let's roll the rating. Go for it, guys. On intimidation, having this reputation as the electric shocking caterpillar caused some concern for me, but their appearance didn't necessarily intimidate me that much at all. And certainly not as much as the time I got shocked by a massive electric eel in a tank of water. Oh! Yeah! But I do know that neurotoxic venoms are not to be taken lightly, so for all of that, I give the Denkimushi a respectable 6.7 out of 10. For pain, it was very close to what I experienced with the fireworms in Florida. The irritation sets in fast and is followed up by a set of searing shocks and burning sensations that spread all throughout my arm. And since there were 25 caterpillars, that's 25x the pain of just one sting. So for all that, I give this a whopping 8.8 out of 10 on the pain scale. Now for the aftermath. And this one is bad. It was easily one of the scariest experiences that I've ever gone through since starting the Brave Wilderness BSI. And those symptoms struck fast, just as we began to finish loading up for the day. The caterpillar's neurotoxic venom caused my body to start having allergic reactions. It is the first time that I've ever experienced anything like this. And as soon as I started to feel it, I promptly told the team that we need to head straight back to the hotel to monitor these reactions in case they continue to intensify, in which case I would definitely need to go to the hospital. The whole car ride back to the hotel, I've been dealing with a lot of numbness and tingling like all over my body. My feet are now pretty much numb from the ankles down. My hands are like pins and needles. I just have like kind of like a little bit of tremors like all through my body. My tongue and lips are going numb, and even my teeth hurt like when I bite down. And you know, obviously the first thing we're concerned about is allergic reaction, so gonna drink a lot of water, gonna have some Benadryl right now. We'll see what happens with it overnight. I honestly can't imagine a worse aftermath than this without a hospitalization from a neurotoxin. In the hours and days that followed, dealing with these reactions all throughout my body, the toxin did seem to slowly dissipate hour by hour, day by day. So luckily, no hospital trip was needed. But as far as an aftermath score, I can easily give the Denkimushi a perfect 10 out of 10. This is not an experience that you ever want to mess with. And with all those scores averaged out, this electric caterpillar earns an 8.5 out of 10, rightfully earning a place high up the ranks of the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And let me finish by saying the Denkimushi is a caterpillar that you never want to mess with. Out here, every step counts. The terrain is brutal and the stakes are real. That's why I created Summit Adventure Fuel, to help power my way through any situation. With pro-grade electrolytes, clean sugar-free ingredients, and flavors that hit hard, Summit keeps me going when the wild pushes back. And unlike other electrolyte drinks that are sugar-free, Summit actually tastes good. And Summit is now the official drink of Brave Wilderness. So hydrate like an explorer and fuel your adventures all the way to the summit. Let's get there. Check that out. So as you can see, these worms are absolutely covered in thousands of these very small but very sharp venomous spines. Now these spines are constantly growing. So you'll see there's some of them floating around, and it really does look like fiberglass. When you look at it under a microscope, you could see just how sharp the points of the spines really are. So really just even a subtle brush into one of these creatures is gonna land you in a world of pain, right where I'm about to be here in just a few more minutes. But you can also see that red coloration is where they get their name, the fireworm, because they look like they're on fire, and they certainly feel like it when they touch your skin. Now, a lot of people do come into contact with these worms, namely scuba divers and snorkelers, but you do need to be careful if you're out here swimming. If you're walking along and you feel rocks below your feet, there's a good chance that could be the home of a fireworm. If you step on one of these, it's gonna light you up. Wow, and there we go. Come in tight, let's see that right there. That to me, is the most impressive thing about the fireworm, besides what the venom can do, is this amazing flaring defense. They can just splay and spread out all of those spines so they can encase their entire body. All of that middle bit there, it's no different than your average worm. In fact, when I squeeze it with these tweezers, they're super soft, they're squishy. And if they weren't covered in these amazingly painful spikes, they would be easy pickings for anything that lives out there in the ocean. So now you've heard me mention more than a few times that these worms are venomous. So while yes, those spines will jam into your flesh like a cactus, they release a toxin. There's a mucus that these worms are coating those spines in, much like a lionfish or a stonefish. And when that toxin gets into the skin, it's gonna cause instant searing pain. And that pain will continue to cycle through as long as those spines are lodged in my skin. And then after that, I'm gonna inevitably deal with tremendous swelling and probably some scarring. This is one of the stings that it's gonna leave lasting damage. Luckily for me, I get stung a lot in this area for the bite sting index, so it's just gonna be one of many scars. It's time to take a sting from this very bizarre marine creature so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And this is one of the animals that I have been really curious to rate since we invented the Bite Sting Index for Brave Wilderness, where we rate the sting or bite of an animal in 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And for this worm, the aftermath is what you're definitely going to want to stick around for, because not only will you see just how bad the burn from a fireworm can be, but I'm gonna show you what to do if you are ever stung by one of these venomous creatures. I know how bad this is gonna be. Time to find out. What does the burn of the fireworm do to human flesh? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, I didn't get me good enough. Maybe one more time. Here we go. Puff up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, that burns. Ah! No! Oh, it's so. Ah! Woo! Oh, do you see all those spines? Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh, you can already see it's turning red. Oh, I got stung really bad. That's so many spines. Hundreds. I got stung by hundreds. Ah! Oh, it's so bad. Ah! Ah! Okay. Oh gosh.
Mark, are you okay?
Oh, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. On. Ah. Ah. Oh. Ah. 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 Oh my gosh, it's so much worse the first time. I've been stung by these before, but never one that big. I have so many spines in my arm right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be my worst sting ever. This is gonna be my worst sting. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it dry. Because once it dries, I can use this tape to remove the spines. Anything that's like super adhesive. If you don't have duct tape, find something sticky. Just like get that stuff out of there. You need to get those spines out of your skin, because right now I can just feel the venom just like lava flowing over top of itself. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It could be worse. Ha! Don't blow on it. Makes it worse. Come on. Dry. All right, I'm gonna walk it off. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna walk around for a second. Okay, it's dry. It's dry. All right, I'm taking all I can take. I gotta get these out. All right, piece of tape like that. Any tape will do, but I got this so you can see just how many spines I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna try to do this in one swoop. Here we go. You wanna cover the entire area. Oh, wow. I didn't get a mammoth go again, but look at that. Look at how many spines are in there. Come on. Ow! Ah! Okay, holy mackerel. Look at those welts coming in. You see that? Oh my gosh, and they don't even look that bad compared to how it feels. Instantly better as soon as you remove the spines. It really makes a big difference. The next thing you want to do, white vinegar. It's gonna help neutralize the burns. Oh yeah. Whatever toxin is left on top of my skin, this vinegar is going to neutralize it. Heavy duty tape, white vinegar. If you don't have it with you, get it as fast as you can, because the faster you can get those spines out of your skin, the sooner you're gonna be on the road to recovery. But I can tell you the road to recovery for this sting is long. And you can see how much the welts are rising. Tomorrow, this is gonna be nasty. Now comes the hard part, the healing process, the aftermath. And the pain score, gonna be high. Intimidation, I'm gonna have to think about that. Aftermath, I'm gonna have a long time to think about that, because the aftermath of this worm is gonna last for weeks. But you don't have to wait weeks. Let's get into it right now and officially rate the fireworm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. On intimidation, the fireworm looks intense. The bright red skin combined with thousands of spines remind me of a venomous snake. Plus, having taken a sting before, I know just how easily those spines can get stuck in your skin. And when you see a big one underwater, they are majorly intimidating. So for that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. For pain, once those spines dug in and started to dose me with venom, the burn was intense. The feeling was similar to being burned and electrocuted over and over again. And unlike my first sting, I got completely nailed this time with at least 5 times the amount of bristles. Needless to say, it hurt badly, and for that, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the fireworm is where it scores some serious points. Its burn just kept going and going, day after day and week after week, and the rash would come back with a vengeance, leaving behind these intense itching, pustules, and swelling. Anytime I would get active or start to sweat, the pain would come rushing back, and to this day, there is still some scarring left behind from the burn of this fireworm. So for this, I give the aftermath score a whopping 9.6 out of 10. All combined, the fireworm ranks at a 9 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, which is a major score for a majorly painful creature. All right, guys, right now, I am in the jungles of Borneo on the hunt for an assassin. This is a super creepy, crawly insect that both flies and bites. And if I'm able to catch one today, I'm going to take a bite for myself to put it on the Bite Sting Index. But there's a little catch. In addition to the pain I will experience from this bite, there's something a lot more dangerous than meets the eye. And as I'm going through it, I'm going to describe to you why you never want to be bitten by an assassin bug. Got one, right here. There it is. We got a red one. Red assassin bug. Andrew, can you hand me a jar?
Sure.
Thank you. Got it. Got an assassin bug. A bright red one too. All right, it's game on. Oh man, I can see its dagger-like mouth already. Let's go set up the bite table. It's go time. Oh buddy, we got a big one today. I'm ready. The bite that I'm about to endure from this assassin bug, this fire red insect, is not only gonna be something that really hurts, but is also a bite that's definitely going to send me to the hospital. You heard me right. After the shoot, I'm gonna have to seek medical attention for what I'm about to do. Before I tell you why, let's take a closer look at what I'm up against. Okay, there we go. Now it can fly, so we gotta keep an eye on it. And hopefully it just sits right there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects. Ooh, almost flew away there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects you could ever see. Oh. I got it, I got it. Right there on that leaf. Okay. Oh no. Got it. Oh. That was close. Almost got away. That was very close to ending this bite test way too soon. Woo! Got my heart racing from that sprint, guys. Okay, well, let's, I'm gonna hold it in the forceps for the rest of the presentation. How about that?
That works, Mark.
The assassin bugs here in Borneo can fly, and most assassin bugs can fly. And they range in sizes from very small insects that are called kissing bugs to very large. The largest assassin bug is called a wheel bug, and we have those in the United States. But they are not anywhere near as colorful as this one. It's an assassin, it's a predator. It is out there actively hunting other insects and invertebrates to eat. And the way that it incapacitates and kills its prey is by injecting with that long proboscis a digestive saliva. You can actually see a bead of it at the end of that proboscis right now. That is a digestive enzyme that when enters the body of a victim will dissolve it, and then it will use the proboscis like a straw to slurp up its insides. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about why this is such a dangerous bite for me to be taking. Some assassin bugs can spread a deadly disease called Chagas. Chagas is a condition caused by parasites, mainly found in the Americas, but has recently spread to both Asia and Australia. The reason Chagas is so deadly is because once infected, it typically goes unnoticed for many years until it silently leads to major health problems, including heart failure. The main reason I have not yet ranked assassin bug bites is because of the risk of this silent killer. But out here in Asia, it's safe enough to test this dreadful bite because the chances of me misidentifying the kissing bugs that spread it are almost zero because they do not live here. All that said, I can still get other nasty parasites from this bite, so I will be taking a full parasite blood test when I return to the United States, just to make sure I didn't catch a killer bug by accident. And with that, I think it's time to rate the bite of the Bornean assassin bug. You guys ready?
We are, Mark. Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Not really. Not really. All right, guys. I think I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. It's time to go flesh to proboscis with the Bornean assassin bug. Got cameras ready?
We're ready, Mark.
I'm gonna do it right here on 3. Oh, it's like stabbing yourself with a bug. I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the assassin bug. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Dang it! Wow! I don't know if I got a good bite though. I gotta go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's biting me. Yep, it's biting me. It's in. Oh, yeah, it got me. Yeah, it's getting me. Oh, yeah. Oh. Woo. Oh, yeah, that got me. Okay. Yeah, that hurts. Feels so weird. It's just like simmering under the skin. It almost feels like the blood is boiling around the bite. That was so weird. I've never had a more instant pain from what looked to be a gentle touch. Did you guys see the proboscis? It just kind of like went out like an elephant's trunk. It went like whoop, and then touched my skin almost like a feather. It didn't like spear down like I expected. It touched the skin with the softest landing. I didn't think it was even gonna bite at first, and then I felt something from its mouth go under the skin. I don't know if you saw it. When I was pulling it out, you could see its tongue. Holy smokes. Okay guys, well, let's roll the rating on the Bornean assassin bug. Oh. On intimidation, this assassin bug is a standout. With its bright red colors and size, it scores much higher than other assassins you will find. On top of that, they do fly and bite without warning, making them a bug of most concern that you want to avoid at all costs. For that, it's a 7.8 out of 10. On pain, the pop of searing sting was quickly followed by intense burning and welts. It was very much like a hot poker that went in without warning, a sensation that I will never forget and really ranks it up the ladder. So for that, I give it an 8.1 out of 10. For aftermath, the swelling did flare up a lot after the bite, but in the days to follow, it turned into a more typical looking mosquito bite welt. However, this bite, of course, came with the big risk of parasites, and the anxiety of that alone bumps the score up significantly. And then there's the blood test results, which I was very nervous to get, but once I had them, they luckily came back completely negative. So while a positive test would have easily made the aftermath a 10, this time I got away with a 7.3, giving this bright red assassin bug a total BSI score of a 7.7. Out here, every step counts. The terrain is brutal and the stakes are real. That's why I created Summit Adventure Fuel, to help power my way through any situation. With pro-grade electrolytes, clean sugar-free ingredients, and flavors that hit hard, Summit keeps me going when the wild pushes back. And unlike other electrolyte drinks that are sugar-free, Summit actually tastes good. And Summit is now the official drink of Brave Wilderness. So hydrate like an explorer and fuel your adventures all the way to the summit. Let's get there. The Thorny Devil is like a living sculpture, and some rumors say it is so sharp it can actually draw blood when you try to catch it. So if we're lucky enough, we're gonna put those rumors to the test. Let's get searching. They live exclusively on a diet of ants. Because of that need, if you find an ant mound or an ant line, there's a good chance there's a Thorny Devil somewhere in the vicinity, so we can then create a perimeter and start really scanning the area. These are masters of camouflage in this environment, so you really need to narrow it down to a sweet spot. So sharp. This is definitely Thorny Devil habitat. Everything out here is spiky. Especially this plant right here. This is like little razor blade leaves. Gonna keep an eye out for that one as we search for this creature. Here we go. This is a good indication. You see that line in the sand right there? That's an ant track. You can actually see a few tiny, tiny ants making their way back to their nest. But this is great, guys. We've got the sandy environment. We found the food. Now it's time to find the devil itself. What I'm looking for now are either foot tracks or the outline. It has a very distinct contrast with the rest of the environment. The outline of the tail and the horns on the front. And that's what I'm gonna be scanning for along the ridges and along the bush lines. Luckily, the Thorny Devil is not very fast. You can see why you have to be such a specialized animal to call this your home. Humans would not do very well living out here. Oh, I see one. Got one. We got a devil. Oh, yes. Yes. We got one. Oh man. This is the coolest lizard on the planet, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so excited right now. I cannot believe we found a thorny devil. Look at how cool this little dragon is. This is one of the top targets out here. And unlike their cousins in America and Mexico, the horned lizards, these guys are actually super spiky. And you see it puffing up its body and pushing those spines out. That is one of its defense mechanisms. And I could tell you that if you were to grab onto this thorny devil without knowing that it was sharp, you would get a handful of spikes. Look at how cryptic the color patterning is. This animal is superior at camouflage in this environment. From the sand that's demonstrated in its arms to the foliage and the yellow leaf litter, this animal is perfectly designed for this habitat. You can see that I'm not really doing much to keep the animal here with us. They're very docile and slow moving. In fact, they use their tail as a balance to step forward. They're almost like a chameleon, and they'll do very cautious steps. So look at that, just in a matter of minutes from presenting this animal, it's already changed its color to a much more vibrant yellow on the back. And that's probably because the sun is really starting to come out today. And like most lizards, it is ectothermic. The more heat it absorbs in its body, the more energy it's going to have. And it certainly has earned its name, the thorny devil. It is extraordinarily sharp and spiny. And it is covered from the tip of its tail all the way to its fingers and sharp spikes. Andrew, stick your finger out there. Tell me what that's like.
Wow, it's like prickers.
It's literally as sharp as the thorns on a rose. Just because it has these defense mechanisms doesn't mean that this lizard doesn't have any predators. There are animals out here that would make a meal out of a thorny devil, including species of hawks and, of course, the predatory goannas, the giant monitors that live in this country. So that's where this animal will rely on its superior camouflage to blend into its environment, to not give its location away. It also has another unique defense mechanism. You see those two horns right at the neck? That is a false head. And in a defense situation, the thorny devil will tuck in its head, offer up that false head to any would-be predator so it has a chance to escape if attacked. So let's see if we can actually get it to do that. Offering that false head up. That is a great display. All right, let's pick it back up. Gosh, those spikes are sharp. Ah, oh, do you see him right there try to horn me? Ah, okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I thought we had an agreement. We were gonna do this scene and I was gonna put you back, trying to show everybody how cool you are. There we go. If you ever wanna see one in person, you have to come here to one of its native ranges. Right now we are in Western Australia, but the range extends all the way to the center of the continent. But it lives in this specialized desert terrain, feeding on ants of a particular variety. Now, when I say feeding on ants, I should say feasting on ants. This little lizard has the ability to eat up to 3,000 ants a day. It will eat up to 1,000 ants in a single meal. And because of that, it actually is said that they are super intelligent. They have the ability to track through their environment to locate different colonies of ants, and they make sure that they don't overpredate any specific colony. They want to be able to come back to the food line to get another meal when they need it. These animals all have a very unique color pattern. You see underneath there? The patterning on the belly is like an individualized fingerprint for these lizards. So scientists will actually take photographs of the underside of a thorny devil so they can study the populations in any given area. And this one is super cool. It's very reticulated, almost like tiger stripes. Ah, so sharp. Ah, hang on. Ah, in addition to being super spiky, it has another very unique mechanism that has developed for life out here in the desert, and that's the ability to drink using its feet. Now, I've heard that if you actually pour water out and place a thorny devil in a small puddle, you can witness this happening. So we are going to try to demonstrate that for you right now. I've got a little water here. All right, let's see. Look at that. See all that moisture? Definitely have water coming up the back. I can see it on the neck. It's probably hydrating its eyes. And if we stay here long enough, it would actually be able to siphon some of that water into its mouth. But that is so cool. So those scales are adapted to be able to suck up moisture from the ground to keep this lizard hydrated. It's hard to believe, even holding it here in my hand, seeing it move, seeing it look at me, I'm almost in disbelief that this is even a real living thing. And for those of you who've been watching to see if the thorny devil is indeed sharp enough to draw blood, well, here you go. I mean, it is spiky. It's like holding the thorns of a rose. So I'm gonna do this delicately. Ready? Ah, you're spining me. It's wriggling around and it's so spiky, but I think the verdict is in. I do not think the thorny devil is sharp enough to draw blood, even though, he's spiky. Definitely does not feel good when it tenses up those spines. Ow! From its defense mechanisms and the spines and the false head to even the way that it drinks. How cool was it to come across the real dragon of the outback, the thorny devil? I'm Mark Benz, be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, buddy, we're gonna put you back. 2 wasps, 2 stings, and it's time to find out which is worse. Look at that stinger fly. Oh my gosh, look at those mandibles, they're like shears. Welcome to the sting-off of Japan. Oh, yeah! What's going on, guys? We are back in the land of the Japanese giant hornet, whose sting is legendary. But if you ask people from Japan what they're really afraid of, they will often tell you the Japanese wasps are what you have to worry about. They're fast, mean, and sure pack a punch. So let's go catch one and add it to the bite sting index. Here we go. A lot of parks here in Japan have shrines like this behind me. This is not unusual, but the reason we're here at this park is because it has great pathways so we can cover a lot of ground fast, but also they garden these parks, so there's going to be a lot of flowering plants, and that's exactly what we're looking for because that's what the wasps want. What the wasps want, the net likes. Let's get the search going. Wow, look at those steps. Check that out, look at that. Oh, got one. Got one. One was up in these rafters. Got one. Got it. Got it. Nice. We got one, guys. It's not an official catch till we get it in the jar. Let's take a closer look at this thing. There we go. Oh, I missed it. Got it. Yes! All right. This is definitely one of the wasps that I was after, and one of the wasps that the locals are absolutely trying to avoid. The Japanese vespid wasp, the paper wasp, packs a mighty sting. And this one, I have a feeling is going to put me in a world of hurt. All right, well, we got a little bit of daylight left. Let's keep searching. Who knows what else is flying around this forest. Well, this is the perfect time of day to start looking for these wasps, guys. The sun is at an angle and it's a little bit cooler than it was earlier, so we should be seeing some flight taking place. There, you guys see that? Got another. It's a potter wasp. Harry! Oh my gosh. I was hoping we'd find one of these. This is one of the coolest looking wasps in the world. Here we go. All right. Okay, trying to bite through the net right there. Oh man, this thing is so cool. Wasp is in. There we go. All right. Would you look at that? Potter wasp. Called a potter wasp because this wasp is actually a craftsman. It uses mud to build mud pots up in the canopy for nests. And that is why it is called a potter wasp, not because of airy potter. Much like the mud dabbers that we would find in North America, a thin-waisted wasp, however, this one is much more menacing and is rumored to have a much, much more painful sting, which I am about to put to the test by taking a sting for myself. So there you have it, guys. 2 different but very menacing wasps here in Japan. Both feared by locals, but both very different. Which one has the more painful sting? Let's set up the sting table and find out. Here we go. All right, guys, it is game time. We have 2 species of wasp, 2 relatively unknown stings. On the right, we have the paper wasp. This is the one that unfortunately stung our producer, Richard, who lives here. Richard, I'm glad to see you're doing better. Got stung in the face by this wasp. So yeah, there are giant hornets out here, but this is the one that the locals are often coming into contact with, and it is not pretty. Eesh. But here on the left, we have a very rare and unexpected contender. The Japanese potter wasp is much more elusive, and there's very little known about its venom. So today is going to be the ultimate sting-off between these 2 species of wasp here in the foothills of Japan. Like any BSI rating, I'm going to rate the sting of these 2 wasps on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. At the end of this video, we will reveal which of these 2 wasps ranks higher on the BSI. Now, while both of these insects are different species of wasp, they're after the same food. They're both, as adults, eating and foraging for nectar. That's what these wasps eat. However, they are predators. They're out there looking for food for their larvae, which consists of caterpillars, beetles, soft insects, and really anything that they can attack and dose with a lethal sting. The only question is, which one is worse? It's time to find out. Let's start with the paper wasp. I have seen a lot of wasps in my day. This one to me is right up there with the executioner wasp. It looks downright menacing. It has reddish eyes, brilliant bold stripes up and down its abdomen, stripes on its legs, and actually if you look at the thorax, the middle of that wasp, it has these 2 stripes going down the back, almost like an equal sign. To me, wasp plus sting equals pain. Oh boy. And I think the time has come for the first dose of venom in this video. I did bring an EpiPen with me just in case we have any allergic reaction. I don't believe I will. I've been stung by paper wasp a number of times, but this is a good point in the video to remind you, please do not attempt to recreate anything you're about to see. I don't want you guys to have to go through this. Just appreciate this from behind the screen. Okay, time to get the Japanese paper wasp out of the jar and into the sting zone. Oh, jeez. It is strong. All right, guys, I'm going for it. Look at that stinger fly. Oh boy. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, Mark, are you used to this by now? Or how can you possibly be nervous with all the stings you've done? The nerves always go, guys. This is a very unusual thing to do to yourself. All right, here we go. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the first of 2 wasps from Japan. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Got me right away, and that burns! Wow! Do you see the venom on my skin? Oh, yeah! Woo! Yeah, that felt really bad. Oh, you see that right there, guys? Oh, wow, that venom is serious. Yeah. Wow! Wow, way worse than in America. Way worse than the United States paper wasp. Oh, 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 yeah. That lit me up. That lit me up good. Wow. Wow. Whew. All right. All right, hang on. Let's put it back in the jar. Thanks for playing. Oh. Wow. Wow, that was intense. This is radiating pain all the way up to the tips of my fingers right now. I can feel it, like in waves shooting up my arm. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's give this a minute to see like how bad this gets before we move on. Oh. Oh, you can see it's really getting red all around. Ooh, super tender. Ah, Ah, super tender to the touch. Yeah. I can feel the swelling around the sting site and some redness already starting. That's gonna swell good. I can feel it right now, and my fingers already are starting to swell. All right, well, one sting down, one to go. It's time to go up against the potter wasp. Now, another name for this wasp, other than potter wasp, is actually the caterpillar wasps. They are targeting caterpillars specifically to kill and feed to their young up in those mud pots that they're building in the forest. But I think potter wasp sounds a whole lot cooler if you ask me. Let's appreciate just how formidable this wasp looks. In terms of warning colorations, this one is like a ninja assassin. Look at it, it's clad in a black exoskeleton marked with brilliant yellow stripes and pattern in the front. Look at that face. It's like war paint. Just on looks alone, I think I'm gonna give the intimidation score to the potter wasp. Reminds me a lot of the warrior wasps in Costa Rica with that bullet-shaped abdomen, and then the way the wings are set up. And they almost have like fighter jet wings. So it's safe to say in terms of intimidation, potter wasp is gonna win that fight. But it is now time for the second of two stings in this sting off with the Japanese potter wasp. Oh my gosh, look at those mandibles. They're like shears, like a little pair of scissors on its face. Guys, I might be taking a bite with this one too. It's always a nervous moment when you go into taking the sting of an insect that has very little documentation about it. This could be a relatively mild sting. It could match the might of the Japanese paper wasp, or potentially could be the worst sting I've ever taken. There's only one way to find out. On three. 1, 2, 3. It's like little tiny. It's just like little pokes. You see that stinger? It's like going under the skin. I'm taking about a dozen stings, which is like I'm trying to get a good one. It's like it's fishing and can't bite it. Oh yeah. All right, felt that. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Panda ant. Feels like the panda ant. Just like tiny little pokes. Good sting or not, come on, do it. Oh, wow, yeah, that went in. Oh, God, that burns. Oh. All right, that's gonna do that, that's it. All right, guys. There it is. Okay. Well, took about, I'm gonna guess around 40 stings. Micro stings is what they felt like. You can see the effects of all of those tiny stings. I'm gonna have a pretty aggressive secondary reaction. Look at that. You guys see all that building? Actually, here, let's get out the other. First contender. When it comes down to the pain of the sting itself, no doubt about it, paper wasp takes the win on that scorecard. And then the Japanese potter wasp lit me up with probably about 40 small micro stings, but you can already see the reaction from the venom is going to cause serious secondary inflammation. So this is a really interesting outcome because it's going to come down to the scorecard, that aftermath. How will the next 24 hours turn out? That is going to decide which ranks the highest on our sting index. But you don't have to wait a second. It is time to determine the king of the Japanese wasp sting-off. Roll it. On intimidation, the paper wasp reminded me of the executioner wasp, and after seeing the picture of Richard's eye, it had me on edge, and I give it a 7.1 out of 10. The potter wasp had that ninja-like appearance and battle armor which made me think that it packed a major sting. And like I said in the video, it definitely made me nervous, so it wins this category with a 7.3 out of 10.
For pain, the paper wasp was hands down the winner, with an instant full stinging dose of a 7.8 out of 10, while the potter wasp was reluctant to give me a full dose sting, resulting in an itchy patch of 40 micro stings, resulting in a 4.7 out of 10. Finally, the aftermath. Both stings grew worse in the days following, and the agony was about the same, but I have to say the paper wasp does win with swelling and inflammation, giving it a 7.4 out of 10, while the potter wasp wound only annoyed me for about a day, giving it a 5.7. Combining all the scores together, the Japanese paper wasp clocks in at a very respectable 7.4 out of 10, where the potter wasp just misses out on 6 land with a 5.9. So in the battle of the Japanese wasp sting-off, the paper wasp is the clear winner and the one you need to worry about if you're ever buzzed by one of these stinging creatures.
All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the Bobbit worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk, and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae? Right by the jaws, those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm.
But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish is coming to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're going to need to see that one more time, but this time we're going to slow it down. You can really see how the bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. Scientists are still uncovering the mysteries of this notorious creature, not only seeking to understand its behavior, but also its role in the environment. But one thing is for certain, these creatures are absolutely terrifying. All right, I think that'll do it for this night dive. Tell me in the comments section what you thought about the bobbit worm. I'm Mark Vins, and I'll see you on the next adventure. What's going on, everybody? I'm heading off into the rainforest of Costa Rica to find another creature to bite or sting me to add to the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now, normally, I tell you exactly what it is I'm looking for or what I found, but this time, to me at least, it's a total mystery. There's so many animals, so much biodiversity in Costa Rica, who knows what we're gonna find. I'm super excited to find something to add to the Sting Index. Let's go. Got a leafcutter ant trail. Not much action though, geez. Oh, look at that, soldier leafcutter ant. No other ones though, looks lost. Ah, he's got me. Let me show you guys this real quick. The soldier leafcutter ant, and they can bite really hard. I didn't think it was gonna get me that fast. Get off, buddy, get off. They will not let go. Let go, let go, let go, come on, come on, come on. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow, that hurts. Oh, get off me, get off me, get off me. Oh, God, I can't get it off. I can't get it off. He's stuck. He's like a bear trap. Look at that.
There's only one soldier out today. I thought maybe he was lost or sleepy, but he is wide awake. Wow. Oh! Ah, I just keep twisting the knife. Oh, give me a stick. Give me a stick. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Ah! 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 Mmm. Mmm. Good morning to you too, but I've already ranked those. Yeah. What's this ant? What is that? I've never seen an ant like that.
Whoa, he's got jaws.
Whoa, sure does. Okay, we gotta get a closer look at this. Look at that. He's got like, it's like a hammerhead ant. You guys see that? Here, let me see if I can get him in there. Okay. See if we'll just crawl up. This is a good, got him.
Whoa.
Whoa, what is this? Whoa. Guys, get in here tighter with the camera. Can you get a shot of those mandibles?
Those are huge.
Whoa. It looks a lot like a bulldog ant, a little bit smaller, but like same body shape. I wonder if it stings. All right, let me try something real quick. I had a feeling I might need these. Let's see if we can spot a stinger. If we spot a stinger, this might be our creature for this video. Whoa, look at that. Oh yeah, I see a stinger flying. Oh yeah, definitely stinging away. Like its mandibles go all the way out 90 degrees. Looks like it's like a hammerhead ant. That is crazy. Man, I think we might hit the jackpot with this, guys. Do you hear that? That thing just snapped. Let's see if we can get cell signal. I want to find out what this is. Guys, I don't have service. We're gonna take this ant with us, mark this location. We're gonna head back up with our, I'm calling it the hammerhead ant for now, to see exactly what it is that we just discovered. Let's go. Ah, there we go. Guys,
What is it, Mark?
I think we got a good one. You guys are gonna love this name. Drum roll, please. What we have found this morning is the trap jaw ant. And get this, it has the fastest bite of any animal on the planet. That's what we were hearing this morning. That clicking sound is because they are able to shut their jaws at such velocity that it makes an audible clicking noise. I cannot believe I've never heard of this species before. And I'm reading here that it has the fastest appendage of any animal, let alone the jaws, the fastest appendage of any animal, snapping its jaws shut at 145 miles an hour. We were right, we were seeing a stinger. It can absolutely sting. In fact, here's a quick article. It says top 25 most painful stings in the world, right there, trap jaw ant. This is a perfect candidate for today's mystery creature for the bite sting index. Let's go set up our table and get into it. All right, got our table. Got a few things in my pack that I need to get out. Okay, don't need that. Now I want to transfer this trap jaw ant into a little bit better container so we can get really good footage of it. Okay. Down there. Oh man, they're fast when they want to be. Hear that click? Oh man. Now we can see you. What an unusual creature. It has a super flattened head, almost like a football shape, very alien looking. Its head is so strange. Oh, and it's got like this spiked mouth part that it's sticking out, like a proboscis. I wonder if that's gonna be able to make the pain of the bite worse. Whoa, super unusual. And then it has these really long antennae, almost making it look like it has an extra set of legs. You can easily see how this animal could be mistaken for a spider if you didn't know what you were looking at. But I'm ready to get it out of the container and get a closer look at those jaws. I mean, the fastest appendages in the world. Here we go. This is actually gonna be really hard to get a good grip on this ant. As soon as I get the forceps close, they get really flighty. Let's see if I can put it on the table and stay up. Just don't want to go through the crack. See how fast it is? Gosh, it's so fast. Oh, look at that. Here, get a shot of that. Look at that. Got it. I don't know for how long. This is very challenging to hold. This ant's exoskeleton is super tough. You can definitely see that stinger going. Look at it fishing around. Let's talk about how we're going to rank the trap jaw ant on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. It's going to be ranked on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. So at the end of this video, we will combine all 3 of those factors rated from 1 to 10 into a final Brave Wilderness BSI, a Bite Sting Index for the trap jaw ant. Starting to get a little sweaty, the nerves are hitting. It's time to officially enter the bite and sting zone with the trap jaw ant. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, the stinger's in. You see that sting? Ah, oh yeah, that burns. Yeah, that stinger's stuck in there. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't take a good bite. Yet. Hang on, let's just give him. Okay, yeah, yeah, that, okay, yeah, okay, got a bite. All right, I know what it feels like now. Okay, hang on.
You okay, Mark?
It's building. That burns really bad. So these stings have 3 distinct phases. 1, when you first get hit, there's like an instant searing. Definitely feel the stinger go in and the immediate burn. But then the burning starts to build. That's really phase 2. And that's when it gets a little scary, because you don't know how high that flame is gonna rise. You can see there's a little bit of blood coming to the surface. I definitely took a good pop from the stinger. I intentionally took another bite at the end so I could test the bite. And I think we're ready. It's time to put the trap jaw ant on the Bite Sting Index. Here we go. On intimidation, the trap jaw ant is super bizarre, but is quite small. That said, those snapping jaws do look capable of slicing through skin, and the popping sound it can make is very alarming, knowing that this is ranked as a top 25 sting in the world, which definitely put me on edge. All things considered, I give it a 5 out of 10 on intimidation. For pain, the sting proved to be worse than the bite. This ant's sting burned immediately, injecting my forearm with searing heat. At first, it was a similar feeling to the bullet ant, but not nearly as painful. As for the bite, it was just a very sharp pinch. In total, for pain, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the trap jaw ant was painful, but manageable, leaving behind only mild swelling and redness 2 days later, and falling far short of the bone-crushing pain of the bullet ant. So for that, I only give it a 4.5 out of 10. All things combined, this ant ranks at a 5.3 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, because its snap turns out to be much louder than its bite. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Blue Wilderness adventure here on the edge of the Caribbean Sea at night. Now, we're at Grand Cayman Island, and we did come here to swim with stingrays at Stingray City, and that was awesome. We saw all kinds of cool reef fish, and of course got up close and personal with those giant rays. But if we truly want to see something unique, something really bizarre, the best time to do that is at night. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our dive gear ready, head out into the darkness of the sea, and get up close with some of the most alien-looking creatures you can imagine. Before we could make our descent, we had to swim away from shore out to deeper water. The visibility along the way was poor and churned up by the waves, making this process much more nerve-wracking than usual. Plunging into dark water is without question disorienting. And it isn't until you regain your visibility and bearings that your instincts to turn back retreat and allow you to press forward further into darkness. My eyes struggled to scan the empty space around me for a glimpse of anything. But just like that, we have our first visitor. Drawn in by my camera lights, I find these Caribbean reef squids stunning and very interesting to observe. Oddly enough, it actually might be as equally interested in me.
They can be quite the characters and are extremely intelligent. It's mesmerizing how its bright coloration and translucent skin glimmer as it flutters its fins against the dark, inky water. Isn't it incredible how it can remain in perfect position with so little effort? Closely related to octopus and cuttlefish, these torpedo-shaped cephalopods have 10 appendages set in front of 2 very large, complex eyes. And while Caribbean reef squid are normally social creatures, seeing one all alone isn't that uncommon. Wow, they really are something. What an interesting creature to kick off tonight's dive. It's a surreal sensation to descend into the black abyss of the ocean at night. Some would argue this scenario would easily rank as their greatest fear, and I wouldn't necessarily blame them. Your first night dive can be scary. Luckily, our camera lights are strong and almost create a force field, literally pushing back the fear of the unknown and establishing the reality that exists in front of us. I learned long ago that a strong sense of curiosity can be the best defense against any fear. Curiosity, like our dive lights, can illuminate our minds to focus on what we can see instead of imagining what figments may exist beyond the shadows. And in this world, almost anything my light touches brings my curiosity to a boil. The weightlessness of diving, combined with this foreign landscape, feels like nothing less than a space odyssey. So in the spirit of worlds beyond our imagination, tonight we are on the hunt for something truly bizarre, as I hope to encounter the aliens of the reef. Between the maze of shapes and spectrum of vivid colors that make up the coral reef, its inhabitants are equally as colorful and unusual. And as I get closer to the reef, many of the smaller creatures start to reveal themselves, like this arrow crab. As are most of its other crab cousins, this one is an opportunistic feeder, hunting for worms and other easy prey items. But if that doesn't look like an alien, I'm not sure what does. Okay, let's move on and see what we can find on the other side of the reef. Oh wow, so in complete contrast to the arrow crab, here we have a huge reef spider crab, also known as a channel clinging crab. This species of spider crab are commonly found in waters off of Florida, the Bahamas, and various Caribbean islands, but this one is by far the largest I've seen. We're currently at about 60 feet below the surface, but these crabs can actually be found, get this, in excess of 100 feet, a depth we don't often explore for marine life. But maybe we should search for some deep water creatures on a future dive. The walls of the reef are really impressive, covered in brightly colored sponges that tower up at steep angles, giving way to flatter coral beds. Wait, what was that? I heard a crunch, like some sort of popping sound. Whoa, that's what I heard. That grunt just smashed that smaller Oh, and look at that, there's an octopus. Did you see it before it changed color? That's a Caribbean reef octopus, and a big one too. This is definitely the all-star creature of the night. Now they can be extremely difficult to find, but once spotted will flicker with color. And these color displays are remarkable. It's both attempting to blend in with the reef to camouflage itself, and just when I get close enough, does that. That is a defensive display. See it flash white and blue and balloon up to appear larger than it really is? It's incredible how adaptive these creatures are. Not only able to change color, but also able to change their shape and skin texture completely. Seeing these behaviors is very rare. This is actually the first time I've ever witnessed it. Now let's talk about danger. All octopus are venomous, including this one, and use their beaks to inject their prey with a toxic saliva that paralyzes them while they're consumed. However, unlike their smaller cousin, the blue ring octopus, this species does not have a lethal bite when it comes to humans. But besides their venomous ways and bizarre appearance, these animals are indeed strange. Having 3 hearts, 360-degree vision, and possessing inexplicable intelligence has some scientists suggesting that these creatures are indeed aliens from another world. In fact, there are few fossil records to suggest otherwise, but we'll save that debate for another video. Okay, well, our computers are telling us it's time to return back to the surface, but what an epic way to end our adventure. For more photos and videos of this dive, make sure to follow me on Instagram @RealMarkVins, and I do respond to questions, so make sure to comment and ask away. Wow, that was by far the biggest octopus I've personally ever seen out here in the Caribbean, and by far the biggest one we've ever featured on this channel, and it showed us all kinds of crazy displays. I mean, it changed color a dozen times. It went from blues to reds to oranges to stripes, and then it had those brilliant dominance displays where it ballooned up and tried to make itself look bigger on the reef. That was incredible. I cannot believe we just witnessed that. And how about that Caribbean reef squid? That's nothing to shake a stick at either. That was pretty awesome to see the bioluminescence cascading up and down its fins. And I hope everybody at home enjoyed tonight's night adventure just as much as we did. The crew and I are absolutely exhausted. We're gonna get this gear off and head back home for the evening. But if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a second of the adventures ahead. There's a lot more coming up on Blue Wilderness. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive. While a person's first night dive can be a frightening ordeal, I have found that any journey through this mystical landscape will quickly replace feelings of fear with pure excitement. These days, whenever I have the chance to dive at night, I find myself jumping at the opportunity, literally, just as long as my light batteries are fully charged. I've caught and been stung by some of the rarest insects on the planet, putting my body on the line against venoms that are completely undocumented by science. But in the hills of Borneo, my journey faithfully crossed paths with perhaps the rarest creature I've seen to date. It is a miracle we had our cameras ready to record this 1 in a million catch. What is that?
Whoa, what the?
What is that? Holy mother. That is a monster bee, guys. Oh my gosh. I think that's a mammoth wasp. It is aggressive. Huge pinchers, bright yellow head, massive abdomen. This might be my worst sting test yet. I hope you guys are prepared for a big one, because what you're looking at there is the giant skulled wasp, or more famously known as the mammoth wasp. Not only because of its massive size, but also because it is completely covered in hair, just like a woolly mammoth. Oh my goodness, and it is as intimidating of an insect as I have ever seen. This is bringing back memories of the tarantula hawk sting. I thought that was going to be the scariest wasp I would ever see. Ah! Ah! The mammoth wasp? Way worse. And let me show you why. I want to zoom into that head. Enormous mandibles on a menacing yellow skull cap right on top of its head. Reminds me of a gigantic yellow jacket, or dare I say, the murder hornet. And who knows, maybe one day, the mammoth wasp will be known as the murder wasp. Now, there's not much known about this species. To say it is rare does not do it justice. The reason you've likely never heard about a mammoth wasp before is because they are almost never seen, even by scientists. I saw a blog post from a scientist who claimed to have been searching out in these environments every day for 3 years, for 2 to 3 hours a day, and has only seen the species twice. Can you imagine? Over 1,000 days of searching. So the fact that we have caught one is amazing. And then of course, the fact that we're gonna test the sting of this insect, this one is gonna go into the record books of Brave Wilderness, guys. I can already tell. Not only is this going to be a super rare sting test, we're gonna have to do this one a little differently. So I'm not willing to take any risk with this one. We wanna be indoors while I do the sting test, just in case this wasp is able to pry its way out of the forceps while I have a hold. The chance to take a sting from this wasp and see what this is like is never gonna come around again. I fully expect the sting of this wasp to be excruciating because it is a parasitic wasp. Let me show you what this wasp is out there hunting. Besides nectar, which it does eat,
it's hunting for these, the Atlas beetle, or more specifically, the grub of the Atlas beetle. You see, when these wasps find an Atlas beetle grub, they will sting it, lay eggs in it, so it's a built-in meal for the baby wasp. But because they use their sting to paralyze supersized grubs, it's going to need to have a super paralyzing sting. And at this size, the amount of venom that sting is gonna deliver, this will probably be the worst sting from a flying insect that I ever take. I'm gonna call it right now. I think this one's going to be off the charts on the BSI. Let's go inside, set up the sting table, and see what the mammoth wasp is really made of. Let's go. We've got the team inside this room here. We built a sting studio here in the heart of Borneo. And as excited as I was showing you this mammoth wasp, now is the moment where every sting test, the reality sets in that I'm gonna have to go through something usually uncomfortable. In this case, I think excruciating is the appropriate word. And there it is, right there. Here we go. We're locked in. Had we done this outside and the mammoth wasp were to escape, there is zero chance we would find another one. This is a one-shot deal. No matter what happens, the mammoth wasp is going on the bite sting index. What happens to me, that's what we're about to find out. Got forceps here, all right, because there's no documentation as to the effects of this sting or the venom of this species. EpiPen, and then, of course, a little hydration. This is a big one, guys. Had a lot of big stings over the years, but I don't think anything is quite as impressive as this mammoth wasp. If this is anything like the tarantula hawk, get ready for some fireworks. We're not going to take a sting on my right arm because it's pretty flared up right now after the carpenter bee sting. Oh, wow, yeah, wow. Oh, ah. Luckily, I got a good arm over here. Left arm, blank canvas for this sting. Now, everybody be aware, this wasp can easily escape. Be ready to react. Here we go. You guys ready? Gonna try to get it out. We're gonna see if we can do it without the bone. It senses that. Nope. Gonna need the net, please. To get this grab, I'm gonna put the wasp back in the net, stretch these out, try to get a good hold. This is a powerful wasp, so it's gonna take a lot of force. Oh! Oh my gosh. I got it. Don't worry, guys. Oh my gosh. Talk about aggressive. Let's try to get it like further up in the net here. This wasp is trying to dig, not going up like I expected. All right, come on, come on. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Come on. Come on. Go up. Go up. Get in the net. Up, up, up. Good, good. Good. This is gonna be so bad. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. It's trying to escape. This is why we're doing it inside. Oh my gosh. Okay. 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 Holy moly. My heart is going about 1,000 beats a minute right now. I am struggling to compose myself. It can literally scratch its own back with its stinger. There'd be no safe way to handle this wasp, but it's now or never. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the mammoth wasp on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Ah, she's biting me. Ah! Ah, stung multiple times. Ah! The bite hurts too. Oh, gosh. Yep. Yeah. Scrape me. All right. Okay.
Describe the pain, Mark.
It's building. She stung me so many times. She was also biting me. See all those bite marks? All right, it's building. Letting the pain build. I got stung about maybe a dozen times, at least 8 times I could count. It just was hitting me again and again and again. And a long sting or two, blood's drawn. You can see it's starting to swell. I got like this rashy area, some kind of rashy things going on here. That might be from the biting. Those mandibles, I felt the most, just gnawing into my skin. I'm definitely sweating profusely because the nerves are firing off, but in terms of pain, I definitely took a bunch of good stings. I left it on there as long as I could. I don't know, guys. I'm not out of the woods yet. The aftermath could very well be the worst part. The sting site is really bad. It's already cooked, guys. Look at that. So now we're gonna rate this sting on 3 factors, like always for the bite sting index: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. We're gonna give this sting 24 hours to develop. We're gonna keep the EpiPen on standby just in case I start to have an allergic reaction, but here is where the mammoth wasp from Borneo rates on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Roll it. On intimidation, the mammoth wasp took things to a whole new level. Everything about this wasp is massive, including its stinger and its jaws. Plus, I was extra nervous because this is the first documented sting that we know of this species, so I had no idea what to expect. The mammoth wasp earns every bit of its intimidation score of a 9.8 out of 10. The pain was not quite as I expected. My nerves were on edge, so that rush of pain at the beginning was startling. It immediately jabbed me multiple times and dosed me with venom, which was a bright and red-hot kind of pain, but ultimately it did not build to the likes of the tarantula hawk. It also fell short to the giant black carpenter bee, which I had faced 24 hours earlier, so it was fresh on my mind. Oh, wow, yeah! The pain from the black bee was so explosive that it sent shockwaves all throughout my system, where the mammoth wasp just didn't quite get that bad. So overall, I give it a pain score of a 6.9 out of 10. Now for the aftermath, which was indeed much worse than the initial pain of the sting. Over the next 72 hours, the sting site swelled up into a tightly grouped sting mound, showing massive amounts of inflammation and even bruising. It caused a deep, throbbing ache that lasted for days, and it was almost like having a broken bone. As far as lasting effects go, the mammoth wasp delivered a sting that was on par to some of the meanest insect stings on the planet, earning it an aftermath score of an 8.8 out of 10. Altogether, the mammoth wasp ranks at an 8.5 out of 10 on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index, climbing very high into the all-time rankings, but falling just short of the terrifying tarantula hawk. It's time to go diving. Today we are on the hunt for the batfish, one of the most bizarre creatures in the ocean. This fish is so strange you'll hardly believe it's a fish at all. To find one, we will dive under Florida's famous Blue Heron Bridge and search through piles of wreckage. This fish is going to be hiding from us, so spotting one will be a challenge. On top of that, our time is extremely limited. We only have around 50 minutes of air in the tank, and we need to complete the mission before the strong currents return with the tide and make diving here impossible. There's no time to waste. Let's get searching. To find the batfish, we will need to get close to the bottom and search carefully. They are masters of disguise and are usually hidden so well you can easily miss them even if you're looking directly at it. Do you see all of those spiky red worms? Those are painful to touch and are called fireworms. Fireworms are a real danger for any diver. Their needle-like spines are covered in a strong toxin that can sting and cause horrible pain. Underwater, it's an even bigger risk because the pain can cause panic attacks and difficulty breathing. If I were to get stung right now, it could be an emergency situation. Clearly they are everywhere, so touching anything without looking first is a terrible idea. Okay, that looks like a good place for a batfish to hide. Let's search over there. And I can already feel the current starting to come back
making it harder to swim forward. Because of the tides, there are only 2 small windows of time every day to even try to search for batfish. But because finding one is so rare, they are always the #1 target of anyone who dives here. Look, there's something hiding under that rock. It's a spotted moray eel. While most non-divers worry about sharks, actually it's these animals that are far more common and likely to attack. All right, let's give this guy some space and keep searching for the batfish. Oh, check this out. That is an arrowhead crab. They are super strange and worth a closer look. At first glance, you might mistake the crab for a spider from outer space, but they are actually related to normal crabs. If we zoom in, we can see there are 2 blue pinchers near the front of its body. Oh, and look, there's a yellow spotted stingray. These rays can be extremely hard to spot because they are small and spend most of their lives buried beneath the sand. Like other stingrays, they have a razor-sharp barb along their tail and will sting if threatened. And just because we can see one doesn't mean there aren't others hiding around. Stingrays could be hidden anywhere down here, and is yet another reason we need to be careful anytime we touch the sand. Okay, that's a quarter tank gone. But I feel like our luck is starting to pick up. Spotting all these other creatures is a great sign. The batfish could be close by. Oh, take a look at this spike ball. Sometimes they're confused for pufferfish because these burrfish are very similar looking. Yes, those spikes are super sharp and is why they don't have many predators down here. Even for the toughest fish, you don't want a mouthful of spines like that. The tide is coming back faster than I thought it would, and it's really hard to hold the camera steady. But I'm seeing something bright. Let's close in on those pillars. Oh wow, that is a giant yellow seahorse and a super rare find. I didn't even know we could find these here. If you look carefully, you can see it's covered in small black dots. And to handle these strong currents, seahorses use their tails to anchor on nearly anything they can grab onto, since they aren't very good swimmers. But that has to be the most colorful seahorse I've ever seen. Very cool, but we need to move on. Visibility is starting to get worse and time is really running out. There's definitely a lot of life down here, but still no signs of the batfish. Air supply is just above 40%. We really need to hurry up. Okay, this is the perfect habitat. Let's search this area well. Batfish are masters of camouflage. Still seeing fireworms everywhere. Just can't get away from them. All right, no luck in that pile. These sandy bottoms are probably our best bet with the remaining air. While it is common to find them tucked in debris, you can also see batfish in areas like this. Seeing something up near that wreck. Definitely some activity in the debris around it. Jeez, this wreck is absolutely covered in fireworms too. But what do we have here? Oh, that is a pair of spiny lobsters and a big sea urchin behind them. And right next to them is another arrowhead crab. Still no batfish. All right, it's time to get back on track. We have about 20 minutes left before I run out of air. This search is not over. Seeing something now lurking behind that piece of rubble there. See it 4 meters away? Let's check it out. It's a sea robin, another bottom-dwelling fish that can actually walk. Truthfully, this is about as close as you can get to a batfish without actually being one. We need to be careful here. I don't want to scare it away too soon. Sea robins are fast when they want to be. Approaching now. Okay, this one is a northern sea robin, and is right next to a bandtail puffer. He is watching me. All right, so their most unusual feature has to be their ability to walk on those spines, which are nothing more than modified fins, but they definitely look like legs. This fish could have easily been named the spiderfish. And as you can see, they use their legs really well to walk around so they can scavenge for food. Okay, he's thinking of fleeing now, and this is a good time to see the display of those wing-like fins. And there he goes, flying across the seafloor. When they deploy their fins, it allows them to move quickly for short periods, and they can glide along the seafloor, almost like the wings of a bird. Let's give this guy some space. We are still on the hunt for the batfish, and we're not giving up yet. All right, I'm seeing something there. Bingo! Target spotted. That is a batfish. Zoom in. All right, approaching. Let's see how close we can get. This is a polka dot batfish, a slow swimmer that can also walk along the seafloor using its two stubby fins as feet. I'm going to try to get even closer to show you how it blends in with its surroundings. They usually remain still to look like debris on the seafloor, which helps them ambush their prey when it swims too close. In this case, it's helping us get a lot closer with the camera. Whoa, here he comes, making a fast break. Let's try to follow and hopefully he'll stop again. This might be my only shot to see one of these. Okay. Now for something really weird. I'm going to attempt to show off its gills, which are actually located behind its armpits. This might be a little tricky. There they are. The batfish gills are oddly located behind their fins, which helps them remain still and camouflaged. I have just above 15% air remaining, and every breath counts. Especially when you found one of the rarest animals down here and have more to see. You can really get a good look at its strange shape from this overhead shot. Check out that triangle body. Okay, here we go. Nice and calm now. Game on. Let's try to look for the most famous attribute of the batfish, their lure. Since they're a member of the anglerfish family, they are equipped with a built-in fishing rod just above their mouth that retracts in and out. Yes, it actually is a fishing pole that moves out of their face, much like a transformer. They use this lure to attract small fish and other animals that they can gobble up. I won't be able to hang on much longer until we have to surface. Come on. One time. Oh! There it is. Did you see that? Let's play that back. What? It actually has a lure on the end of the rod that it flings out as well. I didn't even know that it could do that. Holy cow. I cannot believe how much it can transform its face like that. That is absolutely amazing and cooler than I could have ever imagined. All right, batfish footage secured and mission accomplished. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the ultimate exploration of the ocean. This is Mark Vins, and I'm the Aquanaut. Over and out.